Welcome to this book review of Isaac and the Egg by Bobby Palmer. Now, the back of the book really is what drew me into choosing this book. It says it's early. A young man stands on a bridge and lets out a heart-wrenching scream. From deep in the wood, something screams back. It sounds improbable, but this is how Isaac meets the egg. Now, I was curious right from the start, and I thought, well, I'm going to read this novel. It had some pretty good reviews online, and it was actually, I loved it. I found it fascinating, really human, really relatable. It was about grief, it was about loss, it was about friendships, it was about when your world is turned upside down by a tragedy, and it doesn't feel like life's ever going to be the same again. And for a while, you're wandering around in a bit of a surreal world where you're so focused on what has happened to you in a way that nothing else feels real or. And it was full of humour. There's a bit with a grapefruit that I absolutely loved. There was lots of twists and some mystery in there. It got quite mixed ratings, some 7s and 8s, and it got some 4s and 5s. So people said they enjoyed it, they found it interesting. But certainly, at least one person absolutely hated it. It annoyed them terribly. But people said it was a fantastic mix, funny, sad, and a mystery. It was very readable. It was very well written. But then other people said it was disjointed and strange and absurd. And actually, Bobby Palmer said he wanted to make grief, instead of a sort of terrifying monster like it is in like Patrick Ness's A Monster Calls, he wanted it to be comic and absurd and weird. And Egg certainly is that character. It was funny that we couldn't all entirely agree on what Egg looked like and how Egg looked in our head. And anyway, I rated it 10 out of 10. That's quite a rare one for me. It rated as low as 4 out of 10, but there were lots of 7s, 8s, and a few 9s. So overall, a fascinating book, really easy to read, well written, and something like nothing you've ever read before or will since. So Isaac and the Egg by Bobby Palmer. His next book is also available to borrow from the library. So if you want a different read, something that's quite different and will have you feeling all the range of emotions, a bit of a roller coaster, then I highly recommend Isaac and the Egg.